Well, it's not
it's
just
rock. It's rock.
It's
rock, isn't it?
it's the basic of rock stone, isn't it?
The rock, so it sort of suits the band, that hard rock thing.
We were looking when we was with Jet to perhaps change the original name, and the guy that used to run Jet Records was toying around with rock material, and he came up with. He was looking at the Quartz, and he suggested maybe we'd like to change the name to Quartz.
You're speaking about Don Arden?
No, it's Ronnie Fowler. He was the manager of the label. Well, there were gigs on virtually on every corner in them days. I mean, you could go from one gig to the next within a few steps. Excuse me, it was everywhere, and part of the metal thing was a development from everybody playing either progressive music or pop, and then bands changing their members, and it slowly just developed to this harder edge and more aggressive sound. Because there was, a period where everybody was getting involved with the progressive music, which was completely how it ended up.
Bands like Yes, you mean?
Well, they were part of it, but there was loads of other bands at the time, weren't there? I think it got too self-indulgent for a while.
Yeah. Do you remember seeing bands like Judas Priest prior to Rob Halford? You remember them?
Yeah.
Well, what do you remember of that?
They didn't do, from what I remember, they didn't do many gigs around the Midlands. From what I remember, they weren't that popular around the Midlands in the early 70s. I don't know where they were gigging, but they weren't. I don't particularly remember them around the Birmingham area. Yeah.
No. There was Magnum as well. Magnum used to play at a place called the Rum Runner Club.
They were already together at that time? Okay.
Late 60s, 70s. Well.
Yeah? Yeah, that's a great band too.
Well, our manager, who was Albert Chapman, was a very close friend of Tony's, and at some stage he became tour manager and general manager for Black Sabbath. But because of the rapport and interconnection with both sides of it, Tony took an interest in us, and we started doing pre-productions with the intention of doing an album. And obviously that's what turned out. We did an album in the end. And
had you seen him play before he was with Black Sabbath? Had you known him before?
I actually auditioned Tony in another band years before.
You auditioned Tony?
Yeah, when he was with Earth.
Wow, okay. Okay, well, what was that? What do you remember of that audition?
I don't remember much about it. I just remember we auditioned him, and the guy that was the bass player at the time, he got in touch with Tony for him to come and to have this audition, and at the time we were playing soul music.
Okay, what band was this?
I think the band was called Sweet Charity, actually.
Sweet Charity.
Yeah.
Cool, interesting. Mick,
yeah.
Recently I heard that one of your early bands prior to Quartz featured John Bonham before he joined Led Zeppelin. Is that true?
Way of Life.
Tell me more about that. So what do you remember about that?
Well, I remember everybody goes on about when he played a drum solo, Moby Dick, with his hand.
Yeah.
He'd already done that with us because he'd forgot his drumsticks.
Okay.
So he played all through the night with just his hands. And they were trying to make out it was this new thing, and he'd already done it. But he was a great player. Yeah, really good.
And what band was this?
Way of Life.
Way of Life. Had you recorded anything with that lineup?
No.
No?
No. That's the only problem.
That's a shame.
And also is in the Nicky James movement as well, which was with me.
Okay.
Not really.
No.
Not really. No, not at all, really.
Obviously, there's a difference because we were a four-piece.
And what are you referring to when we're recording then? What you say, Dark?
No, yeah, it's as if, there were songs like Satan's Serenade, that was after Geoff had left, it's as if they were a bit darker.
Geoff was not with us when we released it, but he actually worked on the song before he left.
Oh, okay, so that's definitely no.
Yeah.
to my question.
Well, what originally inspired it was there was another Birmingham group called Crier, who we'd done some gigs with, and actually they were on the same bill when we recorded the live album. And
they've been around like you for a long while, right?
And one of the members originally of Crier had passed away, so they come up with an option for us to do a charity gig to raise some money for him. So we did the gig, and we all enjoyed ourselves. So we said, let's see if we can go along a bit longer and see what happens.
When we turned around, Gary, the guitarist, shouted, "If we can do it, you can." If we can get together, you can.
And you took his challenge.
We talked about it.
So, Derek, what do you remember about first rehearsing with Quartz yourself?
Second time round, or the beginning?
You can't remember that far back.
I don't remember that far back. No, we just started up again, and everything seemed to just drop into place, really. You know, back to square one, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was playing with the Idol Race when Geoff left.
What's the name?
The Idol Race.
Okay.
Geoff left to go with Roy
Okay.
in ELO, which in turn was the move. But as you know, the Geoff stuff was quite poppy.
Yes.
And then from there, I went to Canada with Flood, and they were a rock popping group, And they had a few hits over in Canada.
I disagree with that comment, to be honest with you. Because punk, when it started to take off, it was a kiss of death to the music industry. In many ways, most of the people that were writing in the music papers didn't want to know about any of the established bands or bands like ourselves that was struggling to keep recognition going. Everybody was focused on the punk scene, and it was a kiss of death. And then all the record labels at the time, once they got a bite of 2 or 3 punk bands doing it good, that's all they were looking for. Everybody was looking for another punk band.
Jump the bandwagon, as they say.
Yeah.
Fine.
I think it's quite...
it's a compliment. Really.
Yeah, quite a compliment. I never realised it until the press started to mention it, that was associated with it. But I mean, Geoff originally came up with the... which they decided
So
to
it was
use.
fair enough that...
Yeah.
Curious.
I never know. It's about singing to the devil. I never
There's
even
no
thought of it like that.
Well,
it's just a horror or some escapist.
You got break the rules, you pay the price. Is the first one.
Okay.
We've got a new album in the
Got a
can.
new album.
It's already recorded.
Yeah.
It's
So
already
please tell
recorded.
me more. What's it like? I mean, anything like you've done before, re-recorded songs or brand
Probably
new?
fine. It's
Brand new.
heavier. It's
Heavier.
all
Brand
new
new.
stuff. It's all new stuff.
Yeah, well, we've all got life experiences since we're apart and back together again. We've all got life experiences, which has sort of matured the material as well. So we're quite looking forward to getting it out, to be honest with you.
Covers quite a lot of ground. You have the lighter, catchier songs like Sugar Rain, and then you have the heavier numbers, more up-tempo like Pleasure Seekers, Satan's Serenade I mentioned. So how would you define the music of Quartz to a young music fan who has never heard of you, who was born after you had split up?
Well, what we try to do is keep it heavy but melodic.
Okay.
So people can remember certain things, you know what I mean? Choruses, etc.
Well, yeah, but I mean, we're more of a heavy rock than we are heavy metal, basically.
So with age, you haven't quietened down, become more tame. You're the opposite.
No.
The opposite.
That's good. I'm sure many people would be happy about that.
It's got light and shade to it as much as it's got the aggression to it. So yeah, we've tried to make it as entertaining as you can, really.
Okay, guys, is there anything you'd like to add that I haven't mentioned? Please feel free to do it now. Any message you want to say?
Obviously, that Dave is replaced Taffy. Unfortunately, hasn't got here yet, probably because of the traffic. But Dave's doing a good job, and I hope he's accepted.
Yeah, we'd like to thank everybody who's shown interest in the band, because we really appreciate it.